Now, this one's a big one. Is Bitcoin going to $1 million in the next 90 days? Less than 90 days, actually. Now, I know what you're thinking. This is absolute nonsense and the Bitcoin maxes are at it again. Let's just scroll to the next video. But even though it looks that way, someone very powerful has actually put his mouth where his money is, putting a lot of money on the line that this is going to happen. You might at least just want to find out what this is about. And that's what this video is bringing right after the intro. Let's get it, guys. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Crypto Postman channel, where we are steady serving you all of the news and the juice that help keep you informed and updated about crypto and the blockchain industry. Something that you can do to help keep us doing this is smash that like button right now, ring the notification bell so that you can know every time we post stuff to help you make proper decisions in the market. Now, the question of today, the very big question is Bitcoin going to $1 million in the next 90 days? Now, before we get into this, it's important to note that nothing in this video is financial advice. There are facts out there. I am just bringing the facts together and showing you exactly what's going on out there based on my own research. It's important that you do your own research before making any kind of investment. Now that that is out of the way, the big question, Bitcoin, $1 million. When are we getting there? In 3 months, we're all going to be driving Lambos, moon Lambos, or not. But where is this coming from and who made such a silly statement? Well, it all started when a Twitter user by the name of James Medlock put out a tweet and said, I will bet anyone $1 million. I mean, you have to have 1 million to bet 1 million. I will bet anyone $1 million that the US does not enter into hyperinflation. A tweet that was quickly responded to by US investor Balaji Srinivasan, and he said, I will take that bet. You buy 1 BTC, I will send you $1 million USD. This is 40 to 1 odds, as BTC is currently worth 26K. The term is 90 days. So the $1 million question actually is, pun intended, who is this Balaji guy who's making such a bold claim? We've had tons of people come out in the past to make outrageous claims about Bitcoin prices, but it's been a long time since we actually saw someone put their money where their mouth was, or is in this case. $1 million is a lot of money. And actually, Balaji is putting up $2 million because he made a similar bet with someone else. That's another gist. Let's look at Balaji for a little bit. For those of us who don't know who Balaji Srinivasan is, he is a US investor, entrepreneur, and writer. He was actually the first CTO of Coinbase, and he joined Coinbase when Coinbase acquired his company, Earn.com. So this guy is no joke. When I say he's an investor, he is a serial investor and has invested in many crypto and tech companies. He has a degree from Stanford and used to run a genetics company. This guy is not only super smart, one can say he's also super rich. So why would someone who has made a lot of money want to be throwing it away on a bet like this? That's not how you make a lot of money. In his defense, he points to what has been happening very recently with banks in the US just going up in flames, especially crypto-related banks. And this is what he had to say. He said, if the Fed does what they've said and prints money to infinity to ensure that every withdrawal goes through. Now, let me just explain that a little bit. You know what's been happening with banks, SVB, SVG, and Signature banks, all these banks being seized, being shut down, and the government stepping in to provide liquidity to make sure that all customers are able to access their funds. Now, how is the government making sure that all customers are able to access their funds? By printing more money. And we all know it's basic economics. The more there is of something, the less valuable it is. So more US dollars in circulation, the less valuable the US dollar is. So back to what Balaji was saying. He said, if the Fed does what they've said and prints money to infinity to ensure that every withdrawal goes through, then they're doing a stealth monetization of the debt. And then the basic question is, what succeeds the dollar? Because obviously the dollar will go down. because USD is no longer too big to fail. And when it fails, the unfortunate alternative for us all will be the RMB. Getting enough people into Bitcoin to avoid the digital devaluation of the dollar and the dominance of an unleashed China is the ideal longer-term impact. That gives us a long-term chance to protect freedom. So according to his knowledge, the US dollar will inevitably fail if the Fed goes ahead to print money the way that they've been going about, or the way they've said they will go about it. It will bring about a devaluation of the dollar, and there will be no other choice but to go to Bitcoin, because the only other world currency that has the power to that has the clout to step into the dollar's shoes as the world reserve currency is the Chinese yuan. And nobody wants a world where the Chinese Communist Party is calling the shots. And then you may ask the question, what do I think? I don't know if you'd ask the question, but I would ask the question. I think that even though this is a very ridiculous claim, Bitcoin to $1 million in 3 months, it's not realistic. And even if that were to happen via hyperinflation, via the devaluation of the dollar, what that would mean is that $1 million will really not be as juicy as it sounds currently. But I think that this guy who is super rich and super smart, who I know that $2 million probably doesn't mean a lot to, has something else at play here and is not just trying to throw money away. It's very possible that Balaji is seeking a seat at the table amongst the people whose tweets actually move the market. Now, I'm not saying that's what he's doing. I'm just saying it could be, because you may never have heard of Balaji before, but right now a lot of people do. And come to think about it, everyone wants to sit at that table. Everyone wants to sit there with Elon Musk, Michael Saylor, and all the guys who can actually, maybe even Powell, move the market with their tweets and their declarations. Furthermore, I can also assume that it's possible that this guy is a whale and has a lot of Bitcoin. And so this particular tweet that has gone super viral and has driven people towards different reactions may have actually helped in this particular pump that we're seeing right now. And if that's the case, he's a lot richer for it. But in all this, one thing is certain: fiat is definitely on its way out, and the only viable replacement for fiat, not just the USD, but for all government printed funny money, is Bitcoin. And one will assume that the governments will do everything in their power to make sure that people stay within their control by incentivizing or forcing banks to close all channels that people could have to transfer fiat to crypto. But whatever the case is, I think that a $1 million Bitcoin is definitely coming, but in 3 months? Let me know what you think down in the comment section, guys. Is this going to happen in 3 months? Is it going to happen ever? Are we going to see an end to the dominance of the US dollar on the world economic scene? Let's know what you guys think. And while you're at it, please be sure to like this video, hit the subscribe button, and ring that notification bell. I'll be bringing you more juice very shortly in the next video. Be blessed.